I know that for a lot of roadies, there's no way in hell a one-by gearing setup can work on a road bike. But here's the thing, after several weeks of riding this bike, the fact that it only has one chainring and no front mech hasn't been an issue at all. In fact, when I'm riding the bike, I don't even notice I haven't got a front mech. The only reminder is when I look down between my legs and the fact that I have two buttons, up and down. It's not often that a new British bike company launches. So when Vielo launched their V+1 gravel all-road bike several years ago, it made a lot of people, myself included, sit up and take notice with a distinctive frame design and one-by focus. And last year, the company launched its first road bike, the R+1, which follows in the footsteps of that gravel bike with a very distinctive frame design, understated graphics, amazing colours, and a one-by frame design. Now, I can save you loads of time. If you're not into one-by at all, you're not even interested in a debate around one-by, this video probably isn't for you. But if you are a one-by convert, or you're sitting on the fence and you have an open mind around the possibility that one-by could work on a road bike, then I urge you to keep watching. And with new group sets coming from Shimano, SRAM and Campag, the choice to go one-by becoming even more appealing than ever before. Now, I'm not here to bash you over the head and convince you that one-by is the future. You can make up your own mind. Now, there's still a place for two-by. Alongside one-by, you choose whatever you want for the riding you do. But with the group set advances from SRAM, Shimano and Campag, going one-by is easier and less compromising than ever before. And it's only going to become more popular with better group sets and more people willing to ditch a front mech and realising that there are benefits to one-by and fewer compromises than you might expect. And a big benefit of that one-by focus is how clean and uncluttered and uncompromising the bike is in that area. Because they haven't had to accommodate a front mech, they've made the bottom bracket and the down tube junction as wide as possible, and they moved the chainstays much further apart, which are now symmetrical, increasing tyre clearance and allowing the chainstay to be as short as possible, just 400mm, which is really short for a disc brake road bike. And then moving away from the bottom bracket area, we have an aero frame design. It's quite a subtle nod towards aero, such as the hourglass tapered head tube, the cam-tail down tube, the aero-shaped seat tube, and a seat post with an internal seat clamp. Did I mention the drop rear stays? Not yet. I'll let you make up your own mind on those, but they are definitely distinctive and make the bike stand out from other bikes in the market. The other thing I really like about Vielo's approach to frame design, which we talked about in the podcast, if you missed that, it's linked down below, is how clean the bikes look. So no heavy branding on the down tube, no garish colorways, really understated and quite minimal, which is really refreshing in a marketplace of quite garish pro-inspired bikes, and a lot of them are all black these days as well. And this mustard yellow looks really good on a sunny day, but there are more subdued colours if you're a bit more shy about the colour of bike you want. This bike is just lovely and wonderful to ride. Yes, it's fast, as you'd expect given how it looks, but it's also the amazing handling, super laid back and easy to live with, and also just how smooth and comfy the bike is. And that comfort is something I definitely appreciate here on my local roads, where there aren't many miles of smooth tarmac at all. Rough, badly surfaced, poorly maintained, cracks, potholes and lots of gravel and mud. So comfort from this bike, but also a reflection on how modern road bikes give you that speed but also comfort and make them easy to live with. It's definitely a good sign of how bikes like this have evolved over the last few years. So comfort is fantastic, no issues there at all. And then there's the handling, which is sublime. It's not a razor sharp, super agile, edgy crit race bike, more a Grand Tourer, quite relaxed angles and quite relaxed when it comes to corners. And it's definitely a bike built for long rides where easy handling is your preference over a super twitchy race bike. More Grand Tourer than crit racer for sure. It's a bike that just wafts from corner to corner, from cafe to cafe with total ease and isn't easily flustered by any situation. So this bike is definitely fast, but it doesn't feel electric or razor sharp like some aero race bikes, and you have to rely on your Strava data to really see how fast it is. That's partly down to wide tyres and the frame diluting all the vibrations that normally give you that sensation of speed. But make no mistake, it's still a fast bike, and you might see in a recent KOM video with Fast Dave where he really put his bike with some lightweights through its paces. Definitely worth a watch, link above in case you missed it. But not too docile or lazy if you want an engaging bike. Get out of the saddle, get a few bursts on the cranks, deploy some power, and it does squirt up the road. As good as the performance of the bike is, the handling, the comfort, there's one big question about the bike that I know lots of people want answered. Does One Bike work, or does it need a front mech to truly perform at its best? Well, after several weeks of riding this bike, let me tell you, One Bike does and can work for you. It works for me out here in my local roads. The new R+1 comes in a variety of prices and builds to suit different budgets, and there are two frames to choose from. Both have the same frame shape but different carbon fibre layout. This is a top-end Alto model with a claimed 880 gram frame weight, so very, very lightweight. And it's also a more affordable Strata model with a slightly heavier carbon fibre layout. The other key difference between the two is the handlebar options. So here we have a one-piece carbon handlebar and stem with all the hoses, as you can see, inside, so no drag, no messy lines to ruin the look of the bike. And that more affordable Strata has a regular two-piece handlebar and stem with an external cable routing. They both have a One Bike focus frame design, of course, same drop rear stays, same disc brakes, and the same tyre clearance. If you choose a Strato, the range starts from £3,900, while the Alto here starts at £7,000. This bike though, with some very flash wheels, SRAM red cranks, levers, and a Force Explorer rear mech and cassette, will set you back £8,749. But it is a showcase bike, a real demonstration of the best frame and the best equipment. And it's all equipment that works extremely well and definitely highlights the performance of the frame very well. We have a Schwalbe Pro One 30mm wide tyres that give excellent grip, traction and performance on rough roads, wet or dry. The Zipp 303 Firecross wheels are nice and wide and very aero with a nice shallow rim that works well in crosswinds. The SRAM red levers, brakes and cranksets work exceptionally well. The brakes are fantastic, while the Force rear mech and a new Explorer cassette, the 1044 cassette, works like a dream. All the gears you really need on any sort of road. And we have the company's own carbon fibre seat post, handlebar and stem, and matching fabric saddle and bar tape. Special mention to bar tape, which is really grippy, nice tactile feeling with a bit of cushioning for riding without gloves. Even here in January, it's warm enough sometimes for no gloves. So, fantastic package, but there are cheaper models in the range. There are some remarkably good bikes to choose from these days, and I think the Vielo R+1 definitely deserves a place on your shortlist, especially if you like the concept of One Bike, but maybe put off in the past. 1x12, 1x13 even makes it much easier than ever before. And I like what Vielo have done here. It looks fantastic, it rides extremely well, and for me, it's a worthy rival to any other top-end bike. Yes, it's expensive, there are cheaper models available, but the way it looks, the lack of garish logos, nice colour palettes, and that One Bike clean focus gets a nod from me. Okay, time for my verdict and conclusion on the brand new Vielo R+1. And really, making comparisons with other road bikes is tricky because there aren't many other One Bike focused road bikes. The only one that springs to mind is the 3T Strada, which is probably showing its age right now, but when I reviewed it when it launched back in 2018, I think it was, it really blew me away with its speed and performance. But the 1x10 it had on that bike was a little bit flawed compared to the 1x12 we have on this bike. So the group set advances from SRAM, particularly Campag as well, with Ekar and Shimano GRX, definitely make the One Bike argument more compelling than ever before. So if you can get over the hump from going from 2x to 1x, this bike definitely does impress and is a worthy rival to many other top-end bikes in this pricey category of superbikes. The performance, The handling, nice and laid back, not too twitchy. Good smoothness as well. And while the looks are distinctive, I love the understated graphics and the color treatment on this bike. So it really does stand out. In a marketplace of bikes, let's be honest, are all starting to look very similar to each other. This bike doesn't really look anything like anything else in the marketplace right now. Right, that's all for now. Hopefully you found this video useful and interesting. Got any comments, put them down below. And don't forget to click on this playlist up here to see some more current bike reviews that are a worthy rival to this one here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting this button down here. Right, I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you so much for watching.